Imagine waking up on a completely regular Tuesday morning. You swing your legs out of bed, walk into the kitchen, grab a mug of coffee, and ask your roommate how he slept. He turns, smiles warmly, and says, "Great, never felt better in my life." But right above his head, suspended in midair in bright neon red letters, a floating interface appears. Truth, 12%. Slept 3 hours, anxious about rent, feels terrible. You freeze, you blink, rub your eyes, and think you are having a stroke, but it is not a hallucination. Overnight, a mysterious global neurological phenomenon has altered human perception. Every subconscious falsehood, white lie, or slight exaggeration now physically renders as a floating, real-time lie detector above the speaker's head. The color coding is brutally clear: bright green for absolute 100% truth, soft yellow for slight exaggeration, and dark crimson red for pure deception. Within hours, news stations are panicking. Scientists attempting to test the phenomenon on live television end up revealing their own hidden secrets. A prominent news anchor tries to calm the public. "We have the situation completely under control. Truth, 0%. Terrified and is already packed a go bag. Humanity is about to discover that civilized society was not built on truth. It was held together by a delicate, invisible web of polite deception. By afternoon, everyday social interactions become complete war zones. Think about how many microlies you tell just to keep the peace. You bump into an old acquaintance on the sidewalk. "Oh wow, we should totally catch up soon." Truth, 0%. Hopes to never encounter you again. You go on a first date at a quiet cafe. "I love indie acoustic music too." Truth, 4%. Listens only to heavy metal, trying to be impressive. Teenagers walking into class realize popularity hierarchies dissolve in seconds, as they can finally see exactly what their peers think of them. Customer service calls become remarkably efficient. A cable company rep says, "Your call is very important to us." Truth, 0%. Playing solitaire while you wait. Job interviews turn unhinged. The recruiter asks, "Why do you want to work at our logistics firm?" The candidate replies, "I have always had a passion for supply chain efficiency." Truth, 0%. Desperate for rent money and wants to buy a gaming PC. Parents at dinner tables try to explain holiday traditions, but couples realize they cannot hide their mild annoyances anymore. Raw truth is brutal, and humanity was never biologically wired to process it all at once. By day 3, the financial and political systems collapse under the weight of forced honesty. Advertising becomes hilarious and obsolete. A television commercial for anti-aging cream claims reduces wrinkles by 90% in just 2 weeks. A massive red banner blares across the screen. Truth, 1%. It is cheap petroleum jelly with perfume. Social media influencers stream live in tears as their video feeds are covered in massive red banners exposing fake lifestyles, ghost-written apologies, and undisclosed sponsorships. E-commerce websites break down as 5-star product reviews display red 0% truth warnings. Real estate agents trying to sell houses find floating text boxes revealing hidden mold and noisy neighbors. Stock markets crash instantly as corporate earnings calls expose CEO padding, inflated projections, and hidden debts. Hedge fund managers are seen fleeing their offices as their morning briefings generate walls of crimson-red text. But the real revolution happens in the legal system. A high-profile criminal defendant stands in court and pleads, "Not guilty, Your Honor." Before the judge can even reach for his gavel, a glaring red box hovers over the defendant. Truth, 0%. Committed the crime and hid the evidence. Trials that used to take months are solved in 4 seconds. International spy agencies are rendered entirely useless. Undercover agents are instantly exposed the moment they introduce themselves to a foreign diplomat. Politicians attempt to hold press conferences, but their podiums look like Christmas trees, covered in flashing red indicators as they try to navigate questions without triggering their own floating lie detectors. Even the most seasoned politicians are forced to simply walk away from microphones in utter defeat. Humans are remarkably resilient. When a fundamental rule of existence changes, we adapt. By week 2, a new cultural dialect forms. People learn to speak in technical truths. Phrases that are 100% factually true, even if they dodge the point. Instead of saying, "I love your new haircut," people learn to say, "That is certainly a brand new haircut." Truth, 100%. Instead of saying, "I enjoyed your dinner," they say, "The food was at the correct temperature." Truth, 100%. Others embrace selective silence, saying nothing becomes the ultimate sign of wisdom and self-preservation. Major corporate mergers and diplomatic summits are conducted in total silence, using hand gestures and written contracts. Specialized truth coaches emerge, teaching executives how to train their minds to think only in verifiable facts to avoid spawning yellow or red text. A massive underground market opens up for blurred glasses. Illegal visors designed to scramble the floating text so people can live in blissful ignorance once again. For those who cannot afford the glasses, staying indoors and completely isolating themselves becomes the only way to avoid the crushing weight of public truth. Some billionaires begin building truth-proof underground bunkers where they can lie to each other in peace without the glowing red holograms. Meanwhile, young children are discovered to be the only group completely unaffected, because they have not yet learned the social art of diplomatic dishonesty. A radical new subculture emerges, the purists. These are individuals who dedicate themselves to absolute, unfiltered honesty, wearing glowing green truth 100% indicators above their heads like badges of honor. The purists intentionally seek out uncomfortable conversations just to prove their psychological dominance. They organize public debates where they humiliate anyone who accidentally spawns a yellow text box. As months pass, the initial horror fades and something extraordinary begins to happen. At first, the loss of lying felt like the end of human civilization, but as the dust settles, society notices a profound side effect: global anxiety levels plummet. For the first time in human history, nobody has to overthink what someone meant. You never have to wonder if your friends actually like you. You never have to wonder if a partner is hiding something. You never have to guess if your boss is secretly planning to replace you. The staggering mental tax of maintaining facades, keeping secrets, and managing fake social personas is completely lifted. Reality TV vanishes, replaced by hyper-authentic documentaries. Dating apps restructure entirely around brutal, unfiltered bios. People stop pretending to love hiking when they actually just want to stay home and watch movies. Therapy sessions become incredibly efficient, as psychologists no longer have to spend months breaking down their clients' defensive walls. Relationships that survive the initial shock become deeper, healthier, and built on unbreakable trust. We spent thousands of years using lies as protective armor for our fragile egos, but losing that armor proved that transparency was not a curse. It was freedom. If this made you think, hit subscribe for more mind-bending scenarios every week on Afterthought. What is the one lie you would be terrified to see floating over your head? Let me know in the comments below.